Thank you and welcome back. The topic this morning is the Metropolitan Council, and we're fortunate to have with us two members of the Metropolitan Council, Mr. JSloss and Ms. SHolloway. And before we had our second break, Mr. Sloss, we were talking about the Metropolitan Council and some downtown developments. And I don't think that we can end this show without talking about the possibilities of bringing the Houston Oilers to Nashville. But now, quite recently, the Metropolitan Council voted in favor of doing that. And from my understanding, all 8 members, black members of the Metropolitan Council, refused to vote or abstain from voting. Could you perhaps explain some of the reasons that many of you had for not participating with the rest of the council in this important vote?
Sure. For an outsider looking in, and people would probably assume that we didn't vote basically because of maybe a racial issue, which that was not the only issue. There are other issues on the table, such as the fact that there are many unanswered questions. I mean, I have my constituents calling me, asking me, you know, what's the $28 million for? You know, why are we building it on the East Bank? Just many unanswered questions that, you know, I felt like there was not really a sense of urgency to vote on October 10th. There was nothing in the exclusive negotiating agreement that said that we had a benchmark or a milestone to meet on that date. All indications I've gotten show that the first benchmark was October 20th, to show that we were indeed negotiating in good faith. And quite honestly, I think the council would have been better served to have another week to look at the numbers and get more questions asked so that we can, in a logical fashion, describe to our constituents why we are trying to bring this team to Nashville.
Ms. Holloway.
I think I had alluded to that earlier in saying that my district, you know, I had some unanswered questions, and I had some people that need to go into that equation. When you got that much money, it needs to be passed around, and not just outside of the city, but those that live inside the city should be able to get something from it. We are the one who paid those monies in, and we are the people that need to benefit mostly from it. One of my questions also, why the East Bank? I mean, we could take monies to fix the East Bank. There are other places that would have probably been, that would have caused that the land use monies to go down. When you're talking about spending out 67, I think it was $67 million or whatever, around that amount of money just for land, that's a lot of money that could have been spent elsewhere. And I just want all of us to have equal opportunity to get a piece of the action, you know, if that's what it's called. And like I said, I'm looking forward to it. If they come, I'm looking forward to them coming. But there are just some unanswered questions, and maybe some people will think that we did the wrong thing because we voted to, you know, we voted to abstain, or we decided to abstain. But I think in order for me to have been able to make sure that my constituents had all the questions and answers that they needed, especially that $4 million is what I kept getting a lot of questions on. In order for me to be able to answer those questions, I needed more time. And
so essentially, you didn't abstain because you opposed the Oilers coming to Nashville. Is that what we're saying, Ms. Sluss? Yeah. It has nothing to do with your opposition to the idea of a professional football team and the building of a stadium as such, but you were concerned more than anything about the disposition of those numbers at this particular time.
Exactly. I mean, the whole atmosphere of the council on October 10th was one of you know, we've got to do this tonight or else we're going to send the wrong signal to Mr. Adams and the Houston Oilers. And my whole contention was that's not the case. He gave us a deadline of October 20th, and thus far we have done everything within our power to meet that deadline. And you know, Salita makes a good point. You know, there are many questions that needed to be answered, and I think once we get those questions answered, I think you're going to see us probably supporting this deal.
Very good. Now, over the last 2 minutes that we have here, what are some of the things that the two of you think that our audience ought to know about the Metropolitan Council that we've not informed them of during this morning's session? I'll give both of you an opportunity to make 25 or 30-second comment.
I'd like to go first on that because Julius has been there before, and he really knows what's needed and what's wanted. But I think that the people should be very excited about the 40 members that they have there. This is I would say, a progressive group. They're interested in their constituents. They're trying to make sure that they do the right thing. They're trying to make the right decisions. And I think Nashville should be encouraged and should be happy to know that we are all working for the common good.
And simply because it's new, it does not mean that the quality or the efforts have diminished.
Oh, no, I would think that they are better. We're out to serve, and that's what we're trying to do.
Julius, this last minute that we have here.
Sure. Like Salida, I'm excited about the next 4 years. I mean, we've got a lot of things taking place, and with Salida being a new council member, I mean, she hasn't even had a chance to get her feet wet yet, and we're already into a major issue in the council, probably unlike no other council before. I know at least when I came in as a freshman, we had a little bit of time to at least learn some of the parliamentary procedures in the council, which the new members this time have not had an opportunity to experience that. I mean, I heard somebody liken it the other day as to learning how to swim on the deep end of the pool. And
so you almost have
certainly
to hit,
that's what's happened.
Almost have to hit the ground
Either
running.
sink or swim.
Very good. Let me thank the two of you for coming by this morning and giving us that excellent information about the Metropolitan Times. We know that certainly we've not solved any of the problems that will be facing the two of you in the Metropolitan Council this upcoming session, but at the same time, I think that we've given our audience some idea.